Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. Ontario municipalities. This is City of Ontario, license 1541331, group stalking inside of the McDonald's, creating light activity in relevant position to the bathroom where I'm subject to federal stalking at 11:07 on, a 7MDG 825's monitoring with them. 8C72912. This is McDonald's located at 1107. I'll get the street in a second. City of Ontario, though, he's stalking inside of the McDonald's, and then as soon as I exit, then he walks out. His truck is sitting in the parking lot. 7GDY592 and 8VYZ099. It is 7:25 a.m. and you do have following directly inside of the restroom. As I walk in, a group stalker enters in relevant position into the male's restroom. That is sexually violent, and that's a sexual threat. That is analogous to the state aiming its directed light on the bathroom wall, analogous to the state sounding its sirens as you're walking to the bathroom. A male following you into the restroom, that is in perfect alignment, and you are subject to federal stalking, and you know that. This is the sexually violent conduct. This is McDonald's. And that was City of Ontario using its dumpster trucks, creating light activity, stalking in the parking lot in alignment to the restroom. Again, present while as I arrive the state, knowing everywhere that I'm going. It's not a matter of any private information, it's a matter of public information. This is the one that is off of 4th Street, I believe, off of the 10 freeway. Again, the address is 1107. Stalking in the parking lot, 7UVK300. And a black Versa that has no back bumper. License 8XXE 949, 7XRF 909, 7AWD 231. Yeah, this is 1107. Faith and Cucamonga. Oh yeah, I have been at this one before. This is the same McDonald's where the Ontario police were engaged in group stalking, where San Bernardino County were monitoring with the Ontario police, specifically Sequoia, that engaged in kidnapping on May 4, 2019. She was group stalking with 2 other male officers at the same McDonald's, which is a matter of documentation as well. I just want to speak to my location. I am at, not Faith, 4th Street. All right, this is P.O.C. It's 7:27 a.m. NAOZBV and license plate 3XLC860. License plate, let's see, driving in a circle at this ARCO 8YGF373. And That's amplification of audible activity at the same time that she crosses path in that van. Omnitrans is crossing path. I'm in the city of Ontario, and demonic activity, this is a practicing of terrorism by this third-party facilitating venue. As I am driven up to this gas station, the lights of the gas stalls where the people are in relevant position in their vehicles and surround in traffic. This is using the means of interstate commerce, and the lights flicker. All right, not only is that the communication of demonic activity, that's federal stalking conduct, and it's a facilitating venue. This is the ARCO that is off of the 10 freeway, and I would call this the city of Redlands, actually. This is located at 305 Waterman Avenue, I believe, and it is currently 7:53 a.m. I want to document Amazon Prime engaging in federal stalking on the freeway. Burtech engaging in federal stalking on the freeway. The state using commercial planes to hover adjacent to the 10 freeway as I'm on it. The state engaging in monitoring via Omnitrans on the 10 East freeway that I'm on. Doing so with Union Pacific, even sounding train activity. And I want to be clear, I've been driving for years, and I have never heard a train actually sound while I'm driving on the freeway. That is the... I just want to document P.O.C. Union Pacific going out of its way, 8WMP 572, to create audible activity while the people are surrounding in their vehicles, and that is relevant positioning and light activity while they are systematically monitoring, and those commercial actors engaging in federal stalking on the freeway, which is the channels of interstate commerce where they are engaging in that stalking activity with the state, and engaging in the criminal elements of monitoring, which is terrorism, as the people are engaging in that. And this ARCO engaging in what is terrorism, as they are not only engaging in monitoring, but this flickering of light, that is a means of stalking with light, and this is facilitation by that venue in order that, and this is also speaking to what is a presence, it's a demonic environment as they engage in that criminal element of monitoring. Okay, I want to be clear on that. It is, again, 7:54 a.m., and that's P.O.C. Again, the address of this ARCO is 305, and I believe that this is Waterman Avenue. And I am very familiar with this area. I frequented this area, used to live and visit people around in this area, and this is where I was subject to monitoring for years. And now I am back specifically documenting that is the demonic entity engaging in federal stalking, as I am now aware of it. It is 7:55 a.m. That's P.O.C.
To use energy wisely, log on to energyhog.org. If you cry hog, it better be a hog calling contest.
Bembo. That's a commercial vehicle 8J86711 is monitoring. All right, 7CYH615, 8PPD545, 7WNT047, 80676B2, 6VGT478, 8EKU114, 7ATT314. B4LOVE 78HD504 5JUG825 6TTB684. Amazon Prime is crossing path on the freeway. And by freeway, I specifically mean the 10 freeway. That is the 10 East Freeway, and that is the use of the channels of interstate commerce to engage in federal stalking, which is exactly what Amazon Prime and the rest of these group stalkers are doing. And understand, this is demon possession that I'm also identifying. PXB 5375, that's a Texas plate. BDOC 363. LEN 551. Brightview, the commercial actor. 7RSM 906. 8BHS 012. X VAMP X 10STRNG. 5GWC. I can't really see the rest of them. This is Hospitality Lane, by the way.
That's the one. Very nice. Thanks for the plug.
And it is 7:57 a.m.
Better than what I get from my sisters, because my sister, when she passed away.
All right, I took a picture of what you're looking at, what's stalking in the path and how group stalkers, how the demonic act together. You pull up into a parking spot and they happen to be getting into their car. That's a means of touching with light and relevant positioning and audible activity. 6AKR312, all right, and not acting by themselves. And I want to show you what is the state's fake sun, which is right over this parking lot in the city of Fontana. Under what are fake clouds, the same maintenance of that environment, it's P.O.C. This is third-party facilitating venue Target, which is within a plaza. So like I've documented, the isolated venue where I am at, they're within a larger context and they're all monitoring together. That's why the fake sun is over this parking lot. And I'm going to show you that right now. It's 8:33 a.m. All right, third-party facilitating venue Target, engagement in the criminal elements of monitoring, which is the maintenance of a demonic environment, by the way. And as you engage in the state's criminal pattern of conduct, understand this is how you are a stalker, because the entity's criminal pattern of conduct is underway. You are in the shoes of the government as you're engaging in light activity creation, which Target was doing inside of the venue. 72557P2, engaging in what is terrorism, creating peculiarized light right at the entrance of the Target as I walk out, monitoring with AX35K63, that's a paper plate. The creation of light activity inside of Target, as I walk through the frozen food aisles, the lights come on. This is the same thing the state does as I walk outside in public, and street lights come on as I walk past them, okay? This is terrorism, and this is facilitation. This is in concert with Target, the one that's in Fontana, with its this peculiarized light. This is how the people engage in ominous stalking. This is the practicing of demonic activity. By the way, this is driven by a Latino male. He's got a white Bluetooth in his right ear. He's got black frame glasses on. You hear him starting his ignition. He's stopped in the front of Target with his hazard lights on at the red curb. This is the practicing of terrorism. That's that demonic light. That's stalking with light. And that's what the Target is doing inside, by the way. That's license 72557P2. Understand, the people are monitoring to that. While you are engaged in the state's pattern of conduct, you are stalking with the state. You are the state. You're in the shoes of the state. That is how Target is a stalker. Do you understand that? They are engaging in the state's pattern of conduct. As I walk through the frozen food aisles, the lights of the frozen food refrigerated aisles turn on. The state is flying over the parking lot of Target. Let me show you that as well. All right, the state flew over on a plane. I didn't get that on video. 4SIW 914 8RQE 029 7JLA 995 7MON 430 8MYB 646, and this is 8LFL 630. That's P.O.C. That's the practicing of demonic activity as you document. 7YRJ 976 8KLU 121 6HTY 291. It's 9:10 a.m. $8MNC 837. All right, and so as you engage in the state's pattern of conduct, you are a stalker. That's why there is no place where you're maintaining any First Amendment right of freedom of speech, of freedom of expression. That's not what's ongoing. The state's pattern of conduct is ongoing, and you are indeed a stalker while the entity is engaging in federal stalking and monitoring of the entirety of a life of an American citizen. And as you engage in that state's criminal pattern of conduct, which is also the practicing of satanic, ritualistic conduct, which is the ongoing threat, this is the practicing of terrorism. And by the way, the state just flew over, like I captured a video, right over the parking lot. Okay, that's the absence of coincidence. This is that third-party facilitating venue of Target maintaining audible activity while they are stalking in the path inside of that store. And what is their form? Using their jobs as their form for maintenance of noise in the path, which is called facilitation. As demons engage in stalking with noise, the use of the inventory, stalking inventory, maintaining presence while light activity is maintained, and also the presence of directed light inside of that store. That is the light that has the tendency to throw your shadow to the left and to the right, to the front and all around. Directed light inside of that venue while the people surround inside of Target. 9:11 a.m. and that is P.O.C. License plate 7AQW346. $8EMV170. 8GLM841. 21294B1 7EQZ525 8LZA815 8MXL529 7ZNG143 8LRX042 936 23X2 BR29 B52, that's paper 37422G3 4MANZOS. And again, Target is incorporated inside of a plaza. The entirety of this plaza is engaged in federal stalking. 7XJJ619, the state's light source is over the plaza. Directed light is inside of the venue of Target, speaking to the ongoing state's pattern of conduct. The state is flying over the plaza. These are all indicators of the pattern of conduct, and Target is not monitoring by itself. All right, that is the Shakey's Pizza inside of the same plaza. Here, U.S.A. Forever 21. These are all the venues inside of this 6CO3998 inside of this plaza in the city of Fontana. All right, and the state's fake sun remains over this vehicle, albeit covered with what are fake clouds, because that's the fake sun. All right, license plate. Looks like Truck Driver Academy. It's being used as a means of federal stalking. It is 9:13 a.m. Yeah, this is the plaza in Fontana off of Sierra Avenue, and it is anchored by Target.
Is the freeway that way?
Sierra Avenue and looks like the intersection of Sierra Avenue. Is this Slover? Oh my, I have an excellent memory. Slover Avenue, yeah. This is Fontana. This is P.O.C. and again, I'm familiar with this area, have been monitoring for years, okay? Now I'm here specifically speaking to what is that demonic system practiced by the state of California while I'm here, and I'm documenting specific actors as the entity's pattern of conduct is underway, and the state just flew over that parking lot, which is not helpful, to target a third-party group stalker engaging in terrorism and facilitating terrorism. It's 9:14 a.m. That's P.O.C. Burtech engaging in stalking in the path, literally parking its vehicle with all the lights on it inside of the parking lot of the Regency 8 movie theater that is closest to the freeway in order to be in alignment as I am en route on the freeway. That is called stalking in the path. That's stalking with light. That's demonic activity practiced by that company, by the way. And parking in that movie theater parking lot of the Regency 8 along the 10 West. I'm passing right now Citrus Avenue, exit 63. So this is where I just got on at the, I want to say that is that was Slover, and Burtech is right there in the movie theater. There's a Regency 8, and they are parked along the gate that is lining adjacent to the freeway, and they have all the lights on that Burtech truck. That's a means of creating light activity. That's called criminal facilitation, and it is enabling everyone around you to monitor, including the state itself that is acting directly, and that is also what is the outward demonstration of demon possession. All right, these are demons that are utilizing these commercial vehicles and their places of business to engage in a satanic targeting system. It is 9:17 a.m. That's P.O.C. All right, license 6FGE455. United States Post Office, number 0213470. FedEx, also USPS number 0213472. License BTO4P79, that's a paper plate. License 4WON432, all that goes without saying everywhere that I'm documenting. She's a facilitator. She's engaged in the most violent form of federal stalking, by the way. That's a third-party group stalker whose name I know. And she's engaged in facilitation, right? That's speaking to the identity of that entire demonic entity. This is speaking to the malice, is that's a demonic activity that I'm documenting. Understand I am inherently speaking to what Tracy Banks is engaging in. So that is Metrolink creating audible activity in relevant position using one of its vehicles with the Metrolink brand on it, honking their horn while they're parked invalidly in the middle of the parking lot at 7-Eleven, license 8W23224. Monitoring license plate. These are demons that are surrounding. That's Metrolink creating audible activity as I walk. That's called stalking with light. That's demonic activity by a commercial actor. License plate 8LAS 671 5V35338. All right, and they are doing so under what is I've already documented the state's fake sun, which is over this venue following from Fontana. All right, it's here, and they are stalking with noise. This is how demons maintain audible activity while the state engages in the subtlety. What do you want? Honking at me, that is rude. Get away from me with your fake Bible. You need to read it, you minion. Get out of my face. That's a third party stalking with activity and then holding up a Bible. Let me get Metrolink over here, because they're stalking using their truck, and Metrolink is driving license plate number 1372066. These two white males wearing orange jackets, wearing caps, monitoring with that minion that's holding up a Bible, all right? P.O.C. And I want to get this. I want you to see the demonic activity. It doesn't matter what commercial brand you use. It's 9:41 a.m. All right, I did capture that on video, the presence of Metrolink, and understand they're acting as one entity. So I want to get the third party's license plate. It's 5XPY326. And I got that paper plate, that demon with the paper plate. The demon with the Metrolink brand, demon with license plate 6YDR943, 7HZZ591. And the Upland Police, or let me see, what agency is this? Yeah, this is Upland Police via parking enforcement. This is the same law enforcement, and this is the same presence of that entity. They want to be present in any way possible. This is, and also they were crossing paths, which is what I captured on video. License plate 1528955, and that is, let me see, third party. And you'll see that actor, he's on camera, African-American male, covering his face with a scarf, carrying a black, drinking. Yeah, it's Upland Police. Let me get this. Alrighty, I did capture that on video so you can see what is the presence of the state directly and vicariously, using both private vehicles, using their commercial vehicles. It does not matter. You're talking about what is demonic activity, first of all, while they're engaging in what is federal stalking. And this demonic activity, this demonic conduct is centered on the use of technology. They are all monitoring via communication devices. This is what, oh, go ahead, Metrolink. They're all on surveillance cameras as well, which I'm also referencing. It's 9:44 a.m. at 204 North Euclid Avenue. That is P.O.C. USPS is present via vehicle number 4316176, and FedEx is stalking in the path and using, that is the stalking with light, peculiarized light, while they are stalking on what is Euclid Avenue in relevant position as well. It's 9:45. That's P.O.C. Excuse me. Oh, all right. License 6VLA267. Metrolink loitering in relevant positions, studying their communication devices. Those are demons engaging in monitoring in the state's environment, acting in concert with the state directly and vicariously. Metrolink, understand, when you're engaging in the state's pattern of conduct, you are not only engaging in what is terrorism, because this is satanic, while federal stalking is underway and you're engaging in the criminal elements, you are also a criminal facilitator. All right, you're catching more than one federal charge, very serious ones, and in doing so in the shoes of the government. It is 9:47 a.m. 2705 OE1 6YDX 981 7X WU873, I believe, 8BET056 6R 63. Excuse me, I can't really see that. 8GCT 612. 7EUV 530 8. I'm sorry, BSW. You can scratch that. I can't really see that one. Oh, so I want to be clear with regard to FedEx. FedEx was loitering in relevant position, stopped in front of what is the, this is the Upland First United Methodist Church. So they stop on the sidewalk adjacent to the Methodist Church, all right? Probably finding something to deliver to the church. That's how you're going to engage in form, acting like you're not stalking. There's no form, though. I'm showing you how demons conduct themselves, the malice with which the people act, and what is demonic activity. All right, entirely focused on you, using whatever they have at their disposal, not only to engage in harassment, but to engage in what is stalking in the path. All right, so when you're USPS, you're acting like you're not acting. You actually are delivering mail. You're delivering whatever it is you're delivering, a relevant position under this fake sun, in directed light, while the state is stalking. And for example, USPS is the state acting directly. FedEx is the state acting vicariously, or they're engaging in that same form that does not exist at federal prosecution. They don't have any form. All right, these are demons, and I'm showing you demons in plain sight. 6YMF250. They are psychopaths. They are obsessed stalkers, and they are sex offenders. All right, it is 9:49 a.m. USPS crossing path 4316176. I was loitering at the gas station, not delivering any mail there. Their form is everybody needs to get gas. That's their form. And there is no form. You can fill up gas in relevant position where the state's pattern of conduct of stalking is established, doing it under the fake sun, doing it in direct light, doing it while the people are engaging in stalking with light as one entity. You are engaging in the state's criminal pattern of conduct. You don't have any form. And this ongoing system relies on it. All right, they rely on form 8XEJ377 7M. Hold on, let me get this, of the Upland Unified School District. Group stalker hiding in the parking lot arrives over here at the most random little section. They're stalkers, okay? 8LPV707. Just happens to cross path. That's what they do. They cross path everywhere you're at. These are demons that maintain presence everywhere that I go, okay? I'm at this little obscure part of the parking lot of the Upland Unified School District. It's along the sidewalk, and there's like a little dirt road over here, and I stop over here to get a license plate. Third party immediately comes out of nowhere, okay? Crossing path. That's the stalking conduct of the people of the state. 8LPV707, 8XEJ377, 7XMF486, 8DCH253. All right, just wanted to get those license plates, and just like the people do, true to character, just like I've documented, a group stalker comes out of nowhere, okay? And is engaging in pacing, walking in the dirt, all up in the grass over here where I'm standing. I'm about to get video of this demon-possessed stalker. It's a heavyweight Asian male with black hair. He's got on a black face mask. He's got on mustard-colored pants, blue tennis shoes with white bottoms, white soles, and a button-down gray shirt that is open. It's a button-down shirt, and he's walking inside of the Upland Unified School District. He literally walked outside. He was stalking in the parking lot, knew that I was there. That's why he crossed his path at the same time that I stopped next to the parking lot, right? In a place where nobody is visibly present, but he appears out of nowhere. That's what demons do, and that's what they're doing. They're maintaining presence. He walks out past me, crossing path, walks past on the sidewalk, turns around, he's engaging in pacing, walking back and forth, then he walks back over the brick wall, back into the parking lot. All right, that's relevant positioning, and the state's fake sun is right over my head right now, where I'm standing facing what is the sidewalk of Euclid Avenue. Contrary to what you just saw, the state's fake sun was over me in the city of Fontana, where the state also flew over in a commercial plane over that same parking lot. All right, that's the opposite of coincidence. That's P.O.C. All right, and that was a demon, as I'm reciting in real time what is pacing by a psychopath that is stalking. That's the entity. That's demonic activity, right? It is 9:52 a.m. You got another demon exiting the the Upland Unified School District. This is a heavy set female with a shoulder-length black hair on her communication device while the state is amplifying plane activity and the fake sun is over my head. A group stalker is on the sidewalk behind me in relevant position, and she's walking to her vehicle inside of the parking lot. I'm sure that the Upland Unified School District right here is armed with surveillance cameras. You're looking at what is pacing in and out. And I am now, let me see. State's fake sun is right over my head as I'm on the bike trail of the Upland it's behind the Upland Unified School District. Okay. She just goes sit in her car, turns on her brake lights. This is means of maintaining light activity. License 8RMS103. All right, that's group stalking. 8UIG756 7AVM488 4640Y. That's a handicap. 8RMU752 MVIKINGS 8CLK 687 8BQT120. It's P.O.C. And it's 9:53 a.m. So, in the words of Jim Carrey, let me show you something. All right, I just wanted to show you what is Jim Carrey. I'm sorry, forget about Jim Carrey. That's audible activity in the background. Okay, and you have what is, where are you exiting from? Let me document these. The minions want to come out from what is Western State Trucking Association, 334 North Euclid Avenue, coming out in relevant position. Yeah, 342. This is a law office. Let me be clear. First of all, not only did I work in the legal field, and they're all minions, all right, engaging in the system. This is where I became aware of it. This is where I was subject to ongoing harassment by demons who happen to have a bar license. It doesn't matter what your job is, what your trade is. The pattern of conduct is underway as I practice law, okay? This is a law office. Underneath the same exact fake sun, and they step out in relevant position while a minion across the street is using their car alarm as a means of stalking with activity. And they're just stepping out in relevant position. They're maintaining presence. That's what demons do. They're stalkers together. And that's in the law office of 342 on Euclid Avenue. And this group stalker license 6MCN794. That is P.O.C. 9:57 a.m. Oh, and what I wanted to speak to was I captured video of what is I am in no way tethering Jim Carrey to this pattern of conduct. I'm just a Jim Carrey fan, and so I was being funny right there in a situation that's not funny whatsoever, but I am maintaining who I am while I am prosecuting a public entity for unprecedented criminal conduct. So, like I said, I captured video of what is the state's fake sun that is right over my head while I am at this a very specific little angle of the sidewalk at the angle of the parking lot of 390 Upland Unified School District, where federal stalking is underway, and the fake sun is right over my head. And what I'm pointing out is common sense, the ongoing wealth of documentation that already exists, and where I just came from even today. And the state's fake sun is over my head in the city of Fontana, and that is the pattern of conduct, all right? And I'm speaking to what are demons as they are pacing around, and that's what that Asian male was doing. And that's the group stalker that comes from the Upland Unified School District building to group stalk in her car, using her vehicle as light activity, while the state is amplifying plane engines, and that which is not the sun is over my head, finding its way to be directly over me, all right? It is 9:58 a.m. P.O.C. Oops. All right, it is 10:55 a.m. and I just captured video of what is amplification of audible activity inside of the state facilitating venue of the Upland Public Library. And you have what is a group stalker that's maintaining presence using a study room, and everything that she is doing is the creation of noise inside of that venue. And you are talking about the use of her voice, which is at an ordinary talking volume, which you can plainly hear inside of the study room that I'm sitting next to. And I want to be clear, the state that is engaging in demonic activity equates what you are seeing and assuming that that is exactly the natural activity. Because you see a light, that's going to create light that you're seeing that's next to you, all right? That's literally the basic logic that the state uses, all right? And this is the practicing of demonic activity. It's amplified audible activity. She is in a room that is adjacent to me. They are glass, like windows, you can see through them, all right? And because you see them, the state is equating this. This is the notion behind amplification, okay? Because you see a train, you're supposed to hear a train everywhere in the city of Ontario. That's literally the logic that these demons utilize. And that's based on the documented conduct. That is clearly what you are thinking, and that is what you think no one is going to question. That's why you engage in that asininity. All right, so I'm looking at a third-party group stalker through the glass who is engaging in federal stalking. There is no form. Is monitoring on her communication devices, is aware that she's being documented. And as she is speaking in an ordinary volume, she's not yelling or anything. As she's zipping open her bag, as she is pushing in chairs and whatnot, all of this is loud noise inside of the room that I'm inside of. That's called audible activity creation. That is also what is called amplification. And this is also the means whereby demons create stalking noise as they are listening to you move around, as they are aware of what you are doing on the internet, on communication devices. This is why the state utilizes amplification of activity. It's the maintenance of that unnatural environment. And that's what I documented right now. It's 10:57 a.m. and that is P.O.C. 10:57 inside of the Upland Public Library. It is study room number 1 is where I'm inside of, and this is adjacent study room number 2. And this is essentially the suggestion that everything that you're doing, everything that you're saying, what you're whispering as you're zipping open your bag and closing it, she can hear that in there because that's what I'm hearing. That's called amplification, all right? And that is not ordinarily going to be heard, despite the fact that I can see her. This is what this is what demons equate. Because you see it, you're going to hear it. That's P.O.C., all right? And she's an operation of a communication device. That's P.O.C. I'll document her on her camera. That's a demon-possessed stalker, and that's the hostility toward being documented as a demon-possessed stalker that she is. She's not acting by herself. She's acting with the entirety of the entity. That's P.O.C. 10:58 a.m. All right, I did capture images of what is relevant positioning by what are demon-possessed stalkers. This is in a natural environment. This is video of amplification of audible activity. That's what I captured on video. You're seeing the African-American female in relevant position in the study room adjacent to me, and as she is talking in a low volume, this is clearly heard through the walls that we are separated by. And it's not just that, as I'm showing you in my video, as I'm zipping open my backpack that's right here in front of me, and it's an example of the audible activity that she was creating. She's zipping open her back. I'm listening to everything, and it's loudly heard inside of the room while we are separated inside of what are study rooms. And I'm also taking pictures of what is that's relevant positioning, by the way, and that is video that I've already captured speaking to the environment that they are in relevant position. The ongoing environment is already established. The state's fake sun is over the venue. They are demon-possessed stalkers who are stalking in the path, maintaining real-time awareness of what you are doing physically, all right? They maintain presence as I am in operation of my communication device on the venue of the internet. And I'm looking at what is my video that is stagnant at 3%, 1%, and it remains at 3%, they are monitoring, okay? So these are demons, and as you document them, then they engage in this ongoing demonic competition trying to stop the publishing of that documentation. And this is a psychopath who is stalking me, all right, under what is absolutely an unnatural environment. Those are the psychopaths that I document, and that's why you're going to prosecute. Everything coming out of their mouth is nothing but audible activity. You're literally dealing with Satan in the natural. And also, I'm taking a picture of what is the employee inside of the venue. She's crossing path inside of the room that they have. This is the use of this venue for purposes of federal stalking. She closes the door, which is amplified audible activity, all right? And she's doing so pursuant to what she knows I'm doing on the internet, while they are all actively together engaging in monitoring, trying to obstruct publishing. This is criminal obstruction of justice as federal stalking is underway, okay? That's how this is going as far as what I am prosecuting for. Demons are engaging in an ongoing pattern of conduct of obstruction of justice. That's what kidnapping is about. That's what criminal defamation is about. All right, this is what monitoring on the venue of the internet is also serving as you become aware and you start publishing it. All right, demons are engaged in a furious and diligent effort to obstruct that. All right, and that just speaks to the threat of the government and the people as they are engaging in that ongoing demonic activity that their entire stalking conduct is centered on. Monitoring with communication devices. And then once you're aware of it, they're no longer doing it for funsies because it's a sick entity. They're doing it because they want to try to stop you from exposing it to anybody. All right, so that's criminal obstruction of justice. So anyway, I'm documenting what is the Caucasian female. She's an aged white female. She is walking past in relevant position, closing that door as a means of audible activity. She's doing so pursuant to the demonic behavioral pattern of what I'm doing on the internet with simultaneity to that. And you also see that she is walking in what is directed light, okay? And that's what I'm taking pictures of. And it just smacks in the face of everything that every demon utters out of their mouth. That's why you're going to prosecute them, all right? And that's the reality of dealing with Satan. That's just the reality. To me, it is pathetic. It is laughable. All right. But I am clearly triumphant over it. I am teaching the masses about what is demonic activity in your face, what is public corruption that exists in plain sight as a government is engaging in criminal activity with a people together engaging in what is satanic activity, which is terrorism. All right, it's 11:53 a.m. That's documentation of obstruction of justice while that same group stalker is on video talking clearly heard inside of my room, which is the evidence of amplified audible activity. This same conduct is ongoing in the bathroom, amplification, both inside of the bathroom and outside of the bathroom, by the way. This is that which the state is using. This is a hallmark of the pattern of conduct, all right? It's P.O.C. All right, it is 12:30 p.m. and what I've documented is ongoing obstruction of justice. That's the significance as federal stalking is underway, but you're talking about the context and the criminal purpose that it is serving. The entity is engaging in ongoing federal stalking, which is literally demonic activity as the criminal elements of monitoring, and the methods employed are demonic in nature, serving a criminal system of what is federal stalking, and that is under 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A, subsections 1 and subsections 2. That is any actor using any commercial vehicle, any place of business. There is no form, and that's what I'm continuously referencing. There is nothing that you are using or identity whereby that criminal pattern of conduct is somehow exempted or inapplicable. This is the government that is engaging in the system, and that is, by the way, how a government engages in monitoring you through the very people who surround you, right? But what I'm speaking to, what I'm taking images of, first of all, is the maintenance of directed light in the path, What you're seeing while I'm sitting inside of study room number 1, you're seeing it on the floor space. And let me get a picture of it right now because it's gone. I want to make sure that I capture images of that. And that also happened earlier, but I waited until the state engages in, that's called light activity. It's not sunlight. You have what is directed light. In the state, when you are making it appear and disappear, get brighter and dimmer, that's called light activity. Right? The state is creating light activity inside of the venue. That is light activity on a massive scale. Okay? That's what Target was doing this morning, creating light activity while they are stalking literally as I walk through the aisles and turning on the lights of the frozen food. That is the practicing of terrorism. You are literally informing the target individual as you are engaging in the state's pattern of stalking and terrorism in that same form, doing it in the ways that you have at your disposal inside of any venue. Excuse me. What I took pictures of is ongoing obstruction of justice, which you're looking at, the inability to upload a video onto the internet. That's obstruction while they are monitoring, and these are demons that are pacing all around and maintaining presence. So you're literally talking about, as I engage in a new movement, a group stalker, this is literally in the natural. These are demons, all right? That demon that is on this person, you cannot physically see. The demon is visible, if you will, as you are speaking about the demonic behavioral pattern with which this person is arriving in the path, visibly, okay? Because they're stalking, remaining inside of the venue and outside of the venue on a constant basis. The demon that I'm capturing inside of study room, this African-American female, she is literally engaging in the pace and conduct as she's sitting in the chair. And so I took a picture so you can see the difference with simultaneity to what I am doing as I swipe my phone, for example. And not just for example, that's literally what I did. And I'm documenting her stalking with activity. I'm documenting a demon, okay? So you're looking at, she leans back in her chair as I swipe the screen of my phone. So I hurry up and use my camera and take a picture of that. And she does this back and forth. She's going back, leaning backwards, and she's leaning forward in her chair. What is that? You're looking at what is a means of the pacing conduct. This is crossing the path while she maintains stationary presence in alignment to me. And so she's moving forward and backwards and doing so with simultaneity to what I am doing on my phone. Okay, demons are paying very, very close attention to what you're doing while they are outwardly trying but failing, because I've stripped down, I've removed the form that demons rely on. So they are engaging in bare bones demonic activity, revealing all the secrets of the people and of the government as they are practicing satanic activity. And you're talking about witnessing what is that pacing conduct while she's sitting in a chair. She leans all the way back, then she leans forward in her chair. She is doing this, that's pacing, right? That is a means of pacing. She's moving back. This is movement in the path with simultaneity to what I'm doing on my phone, which she is entirely focused on. And this is in an amplified environment. That is always the case. I just provided an ongoing example of that while she's talking at a low volume, and I am hearing her through the room, okay? This is what the state is always doing, but the state was doing this inside of every venue, including my home at 850 North Reading Way, where I was living on the second floor in apartment C. And as I became aware, and again, the entity knows these are demons that are focused, honing in on you. And you present more and more of a threat as you become aware of it, all right? And as I became aware of it and noticing the very weird conduct of people that I do not know are all around, and just sitting in my room, and all of a sudden, now I'm starting to notice what is hearing things that I hadn't noticed before, and I am on the second floor in that apartment building, and this is just an example of amplification, okay? I'm living on the second floor in this apartment building, and what I could hear is the residents on the first floor underneath me, which is impossible audible activity. I'm hearing them as I'm in the bathroom, and they're in the bathroom underneath me, and I'm hearing them use the restroom. I'm literally hearing them urinate in the toilet, all right? I am hearing them flush the toilet. I am hearing them speaking and on their phone inside of the bathroom. That's all called amplification, and that is impossible audible activity. You are not going to hear the conversations of the resident underneath you. The state likes to create every environment, including the brick-laden, insulated with thick paint, bulletproof glass, and concrete venue of that, which is West Valley Jail, treating it like it is paper walls, okay? And you're hearing the inmates speaking through the walls. That's amplification, and it's entirely demonic, okay? That is the practice of satanic conduct. And this is serving the purpose of federal stalking. It's maintenance of audible activity, which the demons use as a means. They're in that environment that's concerted. It's not just coincidentally there. And so they're saying everything about the environment is speaking to the concerted act, the concerted presence, concerted conduct of the people of the state. You are in that demonic environment because you are a demon-possessed stalker, and you are engaging in stalking and paying, honing in on, focused on that targeted individual who was subject to that targeting system. All right. And so it's the same thing under the fake sun and in the directed light. And so what are you looking at? You're looking at psychopaths. All right, who have nothing to act like nothing is going on anymore. I've removed that from these demons. They don't have anything to act like it. But you're looking at a psychopath that's just holding on to air. That's literally what they're just holding on to air. And that is witnessing what is the psychopath in your face as they are in that unnatural environment and stalking with activity. That is literally, when I say the term stalking with activity, stalking with light, meaning you are stalking, maintaining presence, you're in relevant position, and you're engaging in the creation of light and whatever means you have at your disposal. You are stalking with light. You are engaging in the state's pattern of conduct. You are a demon-possessed stalker as well as you engage in that satanic activity. All right, this is terrorism. You are engaging in stalking with activity while you are making any movements in the path. This is what she's doing while she's sitting in the chair in alignment and moving forward and backward, which is the pacing conduct. And she's doing so with simultaneity to what I'm doing on my phone, which is impossible to hear with the audible ear. Demons are very tuned into what they are doing is centered on, the use of technology. And this is what I'm speaking to. This is a demon that I'm documenting. And I'm giving you an example of that demonic pace and conduct while she sits in a chair, okay, moving forward and backward with simultaneity to what I'm doing on my phone. And doing so while the state's fake sun is here, the state's directed light is here, amplification of audible activity, the state is stalking via aircraft and law enforcement. All of this is already established, okay? I'm showing you what the people are doing. These are demons, all right? These are psychopaths, and they are sex offenders, okay? It's 12:38 p.m. Documentation of ongoing criminal obstruction of justice while demons try to obstruct the ability to publish documentation on the venue of the internet. That goes to the prosecution because that's the pattern of conduct. Okay, that's what you are going to expect a government to do and demon-possessed stalkers to do when they want to conceal the fact that they are engaging in that demented conduct. That is the threat to your life that psychopaths wage together. Right, and that's what I also captured in screen images. That's literally monitoring on the internet. Right, the inability to upload the ordinary video onto YouTube. This phone is more than capable. My internet is more than capable of doing that in less than 30 seconds, by the way. So you're talking about this is monitoring, and this is a prolonged pattern, but I'm just punctuating my point of this African-American female who was a demon-possessed stalker, who was monitoring this morning and demonstrated that as she opened her mouth to create audible activity, fully aware that she's being documented, all right? This is monitoring that I'm taking screenshots of. That's what monitoring is, okay? So their monitoring conduct is serving obstruction of justice. That's the significance of capturing that. It's 12:39 p.m. and that's P.O.C. All right, these demons that surround inside of the library, the ongoing terrorism, the same exact pattern of conduct that I'm documenting inside of a study room. So as I sit amongst the demons outside in the library who are they're literally being stalkers, just sitting around in a library, stalking somebody. That's reality of what these demons are doing. And these are psychopaths that are doing that. So the amplification of audible activity while I'm literally sitting at a partition, and they are creating loud, booming, crashing noises in the library pursuant to my real-time activity on the internet while they are engaging in federal stalking. That's the criminal monitoring system, and that is terrorism while demons engage in that ongoing demonic behavioral pattern. The amplified sound of what is traffic heard through the book stacks that are on my left side. I'm facing the same teen room, all right, in front of me. To my left is the book stacks. You're hearing the amplified sound of traffic like a truck, like it's right here, driving right next to the wall, right here next to me, amplified through the wall. That's called amplification, all right, while demons remain in relevant position inside of the venue. And that ongoing unnatural environment is maintained. These are psychopaths that are on surveillance camera. And these are freak, weirdos, sex-offending stalkers. And that is all that they are doing. It's the same exact pattern of conduct that I'm showing inside of the study room. I step out of the study room. That same template is applying. So now you're hearing the sound of amplified sound of traffic through the book stacks, through the wall of the library. Okay. And that in addition to what is not the sun over the venue, that which is not sunlight aimed inside of the venue, while the demon-possessed stalk with noise. Okay. These are the same sex offenders that are listening to you pull your panties down while your genitalia is exposed and want to stalk you and engage in that same demented conduct in that same environment. By the way, it is 1:32 p.m. That is P.O.C. Blocking access to WordPress.com, blocking access to my episodes on my podcast on anchor.fm.com. That's federal stalking, and that's ongoing terrorism while these stalkers are just sitting around in that environment being freak weirdos, And that's the reality of demons, okay? So I'm revealing the reality, the secrets that they no longer have. This is ongoing terrorism inside of the Upland Public Library. It's 1:32 p.m. That's P.O.C. That was the tail end of Metrolink being the guise under which audible activity of a train heard all the way over here on the property of the Upland Public Library. As I'm walking, that's the maintenance of audible activity. And that same activity heard coming through the walls of the Upland Public Library as I sit facing the teen room and coming through the book stacks, in addition to the sound of trucks, roaring engines, and plane engines, and sirens coming straight through the walls. That's called audible activity, and that is called amplification. That's demonic, all right? But it's the maintenance of audible activity for purposes of federal stalking by the demon possessed. That's ongoing terrorism inside of the venue of the Upland Public Library. The Upland City Hall is monitoring. It's a state facilitating venue. State facilitating venue of the Upland Fire Department is monitoring. The law enforcement, that is Upland Police Department. That's the city I'm in. That's the law enforcement entity engaging in federal stalking. It is pursuant to where you are. The state is engaging in that systematic monitoring system. And it's demonic activity in the state of California. So the template is provided. You're looking at that ongoing system in operation. This demon wearing a cowboy hat is stalking in the path. License plate 158ES with a handicap license plate. All right, license HTC 788, and the fake sun is over the Upland Public Library, by the way. It is 50127W2, 7CJP013, 7MAX192, 6VAH356, 6XJC499, 8DCX294, 7WFT710, and by the way, it's 5:19 p.m. State's fake sun is over the library. 8KJX490, California boiler license 83751W2, California license 188419, monitoring terrorism. And these are demons that are in their private vehicles patrolling on what is First Street. Upland Unified School District, just like I documented this morning, and the state's fake sun was feet away on the opposite side of the same building. The state's fake sun is over the library, by the way. That's what I mean, direct evidence against license 8EYW820. License plate 8WTS832. License 6LNY071. And that is documentation of Metrolink engaging in terrorism. That's the sounding of audible activity while the state is maintaining that environment. Metrolink is part of that environment. The amplification of audible activity and stalking with that. That's literally creation of the terrorizing environment while demons want to engage in stalking and monitoring. Doing so via interstate commerce, means of interstate commerce, the channels of interstate commerce. License plate 8RFF433, 3GVB370, 6A72939, 6W53622, 1258243. That's a California exempt license plate. MUSKRT 8TWT251. 8NNK656, 5WBV915, 8FNJ565, 6FTE842, 8PUA648, 8GZP379, 6LZB191, 7ZTF088, 8UUF795, 6GYF936, 8GXU614, 6WXW329, 4UQTPIE, 7HCD273, 6YOW386, 7JWV618, 8FMB152, 37732, Z1, 7JEG809, 5XZS 957, 7YDF006, 7PXA098, 7LZV663, 8UGW375, 8WHA862, 7MVE024. I think I read this one, but just in case, 8JRF477. Alrighty, and 22754D3. It is 5:22 p.m. Sexual violence documented inside of the Upland Public Library. Where the government is engaging in monitoring, stalkers are engaging in placing themselves ahead of you as well as following you
to any location where you go. It's the maintenance of presence. And so, as I reference the surveillance cameras, you have a demon. They're all in there stalking, maintaining presence. They're literally just sitting up in the library, including those who are paid to be there, maintaining presence on behalf of the government. You know why you're a stalker if you work at the library? Because the state's pattern of conduct is underway. So you're not there in your individual capacity. You are literally a demon-possessed stalker who was engaging in that satanic criminal operation. First of all, engaging in the criminal elements of monitoring. You're demon-possessed in doing so. It's the outward demonstration of that. And secondly, you are in the shoes of the government as you are facilitating that criminal system, which is terrorism. You are engaging in that state's pattern of conduct, and you're a stalker as you clock into work at what is a facilitating venue. So these minions go inside of the bathroom before me, running inside. That's the maintenance of presence. In the event that I go into the bathroom, they're maintaining presence wherever it is that I may go. So you have a minion that's on surveillance camera, and you'll see that. And she just runs into the bathroom real quick, getting ahead as though that's suggesting that you're not a stalker. You are equally a stalker. Sitting in the bathroom, remaining in the bathroom. All right, going ahead of me into the bathroom, following me inside of the bathroom. All right. First of all, being in relevant position while I'm in the bathroom. These demons maintain real-time knowledge of what you're doing inside of the bathroom. They know as you peel off your panties. They're listening to your bodily functions. They know what you're doing in the bathroom. Okay, while they are engaging in this demonic, this literally demented pacing around in their crazy light environment, because that's the reality of what they're doing. And understand, it is even more demented when I don't have a camera on them. They are trying to appropriate it and trying to make it look as normal as they can, which they can't. You're looking at it, and if you take a good look at it, there is nothing normal about 3 and 4 shadows around you. Nothing normal about that. Nothing normal about a sun that's not the sun that's remaining over your head all day. There's nothing normal about that. All you have to do is pay attention. These demons are out and exposed in plain sight. All right. But you're talking about the real demented psychopath. They're pacing around in the bathroom where no camera is on them, where they think that they're getting away with it. These are sex offenders, and they are freak weirdos. They're perverts and they're predators, and they're engaging in stalking, and they engage in federal stalking while you are indisposed inside of the bathroom. That is the sexual violence that demons engage in, and you shall prosecute for that. That's exactly what the policy that I advocate is designed to do. Okay, this is that which the government is doing. The government, that psychopath, wants to fly around in circles over that building, over the vantage point of the restroom while you're in there, and they're all corporately listening and knowing what you're doing inside of the bathroom. What sort of demented, sexually violent conduct is that? It's the kind that needs to be on the world stage, and you prosecute profusely for that. You prosecute for it. You prosecute for that, and everything related to that conduct. While you want to monitor with kids, I'll take your kids from you. While you want to engage in that sexual violence, while someone's clothes are off and you want to engage in stalking with the government, you'll be prosecuted as that and labeled as that violent sex offender that you are. All right. These are new legal concepts. The government is a sex offender. The government is a stalker. The government is engaging in monitoring American citizens. It's not a fallacy. That's what they're doing in the United States of America. That's plain engines, while this demon-possessed stalker monitoring minor children, whose license plate I'm going to get right now on the surveillance cameras, will be entering inside of that venue. Status sounding plain engine, the fake sun is over the venue. 6HTC788. And if he's not an American citizen, he needs to be up out of this country, him and his little minions. Teaching them to violate American citizens, probably staying around bathrooms, monitoring people. License plate, AK50D87, which is a paper plate. And that's a male with 2 male children, and he's walking in. He's got a bald head, black sunglasses on. He's got on a dark blue gray hoodie, like long sleeve shirt hoodie. He's walking in the entrance. Oh no, he's putting books. The kids are putting books in the drop box, and he's walking in right now with blue jeans on. That is the group stalker who's maintaining presence and is monitoring with minor children. It is, and while the state is flying over my sounding plane engines, understand this is exactly what I captured yesterday morning while the government flies over my head, which I captured in video. While the demon-possessed stalker, you see the female standing in front of the door. It's called crossing a path while audible activity is created as the state is flying over, and the state just happened to do so hovering over my head in a government plane. That's exactly what he just did right now. It's the exact same thing. The state just didn't hover down low such that I was able to capture on video. The state is engaging in playing the tape of the sound of plane engines while it is stalking. And the people of the state, the demon-possessed stalker, that are the single entity acting together while he is crossing path and engaging in that terrorism with minor children. Okay, enters inside of the Upland Public Library. It's 5:27 p.m. And that is P.O.C, and that's documentation of sexual violence by the demon-possessed stalkers that are the people of the state, maintaining presence inside of that venue, all of them focused on what I am publishing on the internet, what I'm looking at on the internet, my documentation, engaging in their demented stalking with activity conduct, the state amplifying all manner of activity. You're hearing people talking through rooms adjacent to you. I want to be clear, that was called amplification of audible activity. All right, she's not even raising her voice, and pay attention. She responded to my command. You hear how low I'm speaking? All right, she is speaking in a very low voice, and she responds immediately to my command. She knows exactly what I'm saying, and it's not because she's reading my lips. This is what demons are doing on a regular basis. That's called amplification. That's why she can hear so clearly. She's paying close attention. She's pacing in her chair. I'm talking about the African-American female who I took video of. All right, she's a demon-possessed stalker, and she's monitoring inside of that room, that study room, and the state is amplifying all manner of activity. And then when I step out of that study room, inside of the library, ongoing amplification of audible activity. The sound of trains, the sound of planes, the sound of sirens coming straight through the walls of the library. Not only is that demonic, that's a terrorizing environment while demons surround. All right. You are talking about what is the creation of audible activity where federal stalking is underway. Every single last one of them are stalking in that library, focused on what I'm publishing and engaging ongoing obstruction of justice. That's exactly what I'm surrounded by 24/7. All right. It's 5:28 p.m. and that is P.O.C. 6GTR 210 NEWPY 7JVX 286. This is third-party facilitating venue Stater Brothers at 646 West Hall. You already know this is P.O.C. 8RXF 323, 8RFN 372, 5SUL 304, 7GBC 437, 5SBH 938, and 4YDG 555. It is 7:44 p.m. and in the parking lot, the state is amplifying plane activity while they maintain presence. All right, and stalking in the bathroom. You got a group stalker that's just sitting in the bathroom stall. They are maintaining relevant positioning as they do that. You also have what are sex offenders that are very...
Can I pull forward your work from the
Are you asking me? You also have what are sex offenders, and as you document them, they don't like that, so they obstruct your ability to use their bathroom. They're still sex offenders, okay? But hold on one second, if you want to make sure there's no... Yeah, you can pull forward. Go ahead. I want to get this one using their vehicle as light activity, license plate 8SIW168. All right, it is 7:45 p.m. 8YPP306, 7YGS567, and 8KTF056. All right, license 5KBR388, 7MAH102, directed light in the parking lot while these minions are walking around. So I'm documenting license plate 7KXN714. And harassment in the form of buying food with the food card and picking items that I want to purchase and saying that it's not going to be covered with the food snap. That's a method of harassment that third parties engage in, and they're monitoring. That's directly relevant. 7KXN714, BR98A17. It is license plate, and this is the 99-cent store on Mountain Avenue, the same one where the state's fake son was in perfect alignment with me inside of that store. Right? 6UJC572, the one on Mountain Avenue. The 99-cent store. It's a third-party facilitating venue. 7PJZ474. 8NNL863. 4LTS570. It is 8:05 p.m. License plate. Let's get this hefty one. 6WEV461. P.O.C. 8NRY390, 79350X2. The state aiming directed light inside of the vehicle across the dashboard in front of me while I'm sitting inside of the car. That's an act of terrorism. This is what the state does with directed light. It's 8:07 p.m. and that is the parking lot area where I'm at, where directed light is surrounding and directed light being aimed inside of the car. The same thing that the state is doing while I'm parked in front of 630 North Fern, and the demon-possessed stalkers that are the people of the state that are maintaining presence and acting with the state, aiming directed light all night long while they are engaging federal stalking while I'm inside of the vehicle. That's P.O.C. And directed light is being aimed inside of the car at the same time. And as the car doors close, the state amplifies the sound of the plane engines inside of the car. Surrounds with directed light and aims directed light inside of the vehicle. That is terrorism by the entity that's engaging in satanic activity while federal stalking is underway. It's 8:38 p.m. This is 630 North Fern, where I remain inside of the vehicle, and the entity is engaging in federal stalking, listening to everything that I'm doing inside of the car, engaging in monitoring on the venue of the internet, utilizing communication devices. What I took images of is this stalking with activity and creating light activity using their third-party facilitating venues, their homes, that is the people of the state. Right here, that's what I'm taking pictures of. They're stalking with the state. That is sounding plane engines over this location. It's 8:38 p.m. and that is P.O.C. All right, it is 10:33 p.m. and the people are acting in concert with the state, engaging in ongoing sexual violence. And the method of sexual violence is through this directed light, this demonic conduct, this terrorism that the state engages in, and molests my body with this directed light while I'm inside of the vehicle. It's absolutely impossible light activity, while the people of the state are at the same time crossing path, and they're doing it pursuant to the demonic behavioral pattern with simultaneity to what all of them know I am doing on a communication device. This is federal stalking by the demon possessed, who are sex offenders. So you are looking at what is this absolute abnormal light activity touching all over my body while I'm inside of the car. Imagine a stalker, an incredibly threatening stalker that is touching all over you without your consent and following you around everywhere, because that's what the government is doing, and doing it in concert with the people of the state. Let me be clear. Everybody in their house in relevant position is engaging in that gigantic orgy that the state is partaking in by touching all over my body with that directed light. This is the psychopath that I'm continuously documenting. This includes ARCO, a third-party facilitating venue. A stalker engaging in the state's pattern of conduct is a sex offender, is partaking right now in that molestation of my body while the state is aiming its demented, abnormal light, serving federal stalking as it is engaging in molesting my body while I'm inside of a vehicle, both while the people are driving what is north on G Street, north and south on G Street, and driving, east and west on G Street and north and south on Fern, none of which will ever result in what is the aiming of directed light. I've shown you the directed light, and this is that which I was documenting on my podcast in 2019, and now you know exactly what I was talking about, and that is a method of sexual violence and terrorism. All right, that light that I show you outside of the bathroom in Starbucks, the state is touching all over my body with that abnormal light activity. Okay, and this is by an incredibly threatening stalker that is repeatedly touching you. All right, so you're understanding the ways in which the public entity is a very violent sex offender and is engaging in an obsessive level of stalking while it insists on touching your body. Okay, and that's what the state is doing with directed light. I want to document that federal stalking underway, and I want to document what is sexual violence in every documented actor is engaging in that ongoing perpetual sexual offense that the entity continuously engages in. It's 10:35 p.m. and that's P.O.C.